because it don't look like anyone else is coming on. And I've got some drinking to do after. Oh no, I haven't. It's putting an order together. I'm just confusing it with drinking. So not to worry. Right, guys, thanks for joining us. Tonight's going to be on sponsoring your first team member. So why do we sponsor? Obviously, for those of you, well, you'll all know why we sponsor. It opens doors to many things within your business. It is where the money starts to get exciting. Perhaps not right at the beginning, but it certainly can do later on. Obviously, you've got free cars. You don't even need to be a gold distributor anymore. You can still get free cars, free money without being a gold distributor. You get access to free trips, and time freedom is probably the most important thing. Time with the kids, with the family, friends, just for yourself even, and helping people along the way, helping other people, your team members reach their goals, and colleagues as well reach their goals. And there's nothing more satisfying than that. I mean, when I've seen goals go on stage and go on trips, it's better in a way than doing it myself. You get more satisfaction out of it, really do. So it's really good helping other people. But even not even necessarily at the goal level, even helping somebody to 10% and watching the face and giving them the valid recognition that they deserve and so on, just it's really good, especially if somebody hits their target, their personal objectives, like even just an extra 50 quid a week. That's why they join the business. And you've facilitated that. So that's kind of things that I love about the business, and sponsoring will give you that. It will give you that experience. So if I could show you a way to produce only £250 orders every period and sponsor only one person into your business every year for 10 years. And after 10 years, you've got an annual business turnover of over 1.6 million and a huge walkaway royalty income. Would you stay? Yay. Grace would. I'm glad, because that's what's going to happen. Okay. But basically, I kind of heard this again today. I've heard it before, but you can do this based on 6 or 7 products. If you look under your kitchen sink, if you look in your bathroom cupboard, etc., basically anything that you have in the catalog that you buy from elsewhere, whether it's a supermarket, Tesco, Asda, whatever, or anything in that catalog. So when I did an appointment last Saturday, I brought out the kitchen cupboard. I brought out some tin foil, some cling film, some baking parchment, or greaseproof paper, whatever it is. And I brought out some wipeout stain remover, some floor cleaner, and some sink and plug hole and blocker, which we use. And I brought all those products out and put them on the table. And I said, and it was easier with this guy because his grandparents buy off us and they've been regular customers for 6 years. But I said, those products there, do your parents use those? He said, yeah. So I said, do your mate's parents use them? He said, yeah. I says, okay, right. So if I can teach you how to produce £250 of orders, even just personally buying every 4 weeks, you'd make some money off that. Granted, you're not going to make much. You're only going to make 50 quid. But then if you sponsor one person into the business every year, so if you don't, let's say it's personal products, and let's say it's not internet orders or catalog orders, you're going to save 50 quid there. So it's going to cost you about 200 quid, roughly. So you put £200 into Clean Easy, into your business every 4 weeks, and you get for that £250 of products. And then what you do is you sponsor one person every year. You teach them how to do exactly the same thing, and you just watch it grow. I'll go back onto that in a minute. Right. Okay. How do you sponsor people? Contact your warm market. This is everybody, every single person you know, and I don't just mean the people you are family friends with. Anybody you let's say you go to Tesco or whatever, a supermarket or a Bookies or anything that you see the same person every time you go in. That person is your warm market. Get in chatting to them. Excuse me. I met a guy today on Twitter, and I started chatting to him. And he asked me if he'd do me a favor. He's based in Sandbach, and he asked me if he'd do him a favor. So I said, yeah, of course. What can I do for you? He said, will you like my page on Facebook? I said, absolutely, yeah. So no problem. Would you do me a favor as well? I said, what I'll also do for you, I will share your page with all my friends. And he said, fantastic. I said, now will you do me a favor? He said, what's that? I said, if I send you a link over to my business presentation, would you mind watching it and share it with people you think might be of interest? He said, of course, send it over. So I sent it over. And then he started looking at my websites and he started looking at my Facebook page. And if you go to the Team Journey Facebook page, the cover picture now is like a bridge. It's got a website in the bottom corner and the wording's the same as it always was, but he's changed the picture and he's messed about with it and he's rejigged it and he sent it me and said, there you go, upload that, it looks better. And you know what? I agree with him. So I've met him on Twitter. He's based in Sandbach, not too far from me. And I've made a pal there, somebody I can go to and ask for advice. He's into website design and search engine optimization, all that. So he might be a really good contact for me. Plus the fact he's got thousands of Twitter followers. So he really knows what he's doing. I think he's got 15,000 Twitter followers. So he knows what he's doing. So there's a market there. If I can get in his ribs and get pally with him and start, interacting with him on a regular basis, he can share things for me to a wide audience all the way across the world probably, but he can share, my things with his wide audience. So it's a great tool to have, but he will become my one market. I'll just keep chatting with him and getting to know him a bit more and he will become my one market. So we're now pals on Facebook, we've liked each other's pages and so on. But I've met a girl on Twitter a few years ago who she put me onto as somebody in South Wales who I've been friends with for a long time. And this girl in Northern Ireland, I think she's in Northern Ireland, but she's got about 17,000 followers, and I'm going to get in her ribs about sharing my information as well, because there's hardly anybody in Ireland. So it's all about increasing your warm market, but the warm market and getting to know people, that's the way you're going to build your business, and that is the best way you're going to build your business. There's lots and lots of other ways as well. 3-foot rule, talk to everyone who comes, within 3 feet of you. But again, you can do that on social media as well. Obviously, it's not just face to face. And then you've got the good old fashioned lead generation. So, every rod in the pond for that. So you've got flyers, cards, good old faithful lead vendors can sell you leads, newspaper ads, and so on. There's thousands of different rods in the pond. Then you've got prospect calls and follow-up calls. Always got a follow-up call. Then you've got appointments and then follow-up calls. And then obviously you've got BOMs. Invite guests to BOM and again, follow-up calls as well. So your warm market. It's really important to make a list. Most people struggle with a list. I used to say, write down everyone you know. Everyone knows a list of 200. But you start asking your new recruits to write down a list of 200 people, and they actually bottle it. They don't do it. I think they get scared because what happens is they think, oh, I don't know where to start, and they're not sure what to do. So they don't get 50 together, so they don't get any together. Not many people will come back to you and say, you know what, I didn't get 200, but I have got 10, because they'll feel embarrassed, so they don't actually do it. So start with 10, start with 20 or 50 if they can, but start at a low number and try and get them to work up to 100, but always start low. So if you do a kit issue training, ask them to bring a couple of people they know to their kit issue training. If you do a BOM, get them to bring a couple of people to the BOM. Anything like that, an induction, the same. And you can do it at their house if they're local, and you can also do a business presentation for them as well. So it's really important. You're just trying to expose your people or everyone you come into contact with your business and your business opportunity. Okay, so here's an example of memory joggers. So it says here, don't list everyone you know, don't prejudge anybody. A strong list consists of 74 to 100 people or more. List names, phone numbers, and occupations where known, and suggested contacts. Sources include personal address book, cell phone, Palm Pilot, Halloumi, directory, memory jogger below, etc. So have a look at that memory jogger there. I've got that. I can send the slides over, so it's not a problem. But it's basically a list of everyone you know, and that list will grow. It will always grow. So that's basically a list that you can start with, and you'll always find other people. I mean, even on there, look, it says number 28, who sells Avon or Mary Kay? Number 29, who sells Tupperware? This thing's quite old, but it's the same principle. It's exactly the same as today. You know, it's the old-fashioned way of networking your business, and this is how businesses grew years and years ago, before social media and all that. It's just word of mouth, you know, advertising and word of mouth. But before even advertising, word of mouth was the strongest form of advertising, and it will make or break your business. So really important that. Going back to that previous slide, by the way, if you can get 100, and if you can sponsor one person and get 100 of their warm market, obviously you've now got 200 people. If you get 3 people and get each one to produce 100 names over a few weeks, you've now got 400 people, including yours. So when your new person comes in, sponsor through them. Okay, I'll explain a bit more on that in a minute. So ways to approach your warm market. Sometimes it's easier for newbies because they can say, oh, I've just started a new business, would you mind having a look at it? And almost their naivety and their inexperience, that's probably a better word, their inexperience will carry them through that. Some will be a bit shy and won't want to ask, but it's sometimes easier for a new person to say, look, I just started this, will you have a look at this DVD, see what you think? Unfortunately, a newbie might be persuaded or dissuaded by the opinion of the third party. And obviously, as experienced distributors, we know not to listen to the dream stealers. So the other good way is use your upline to help you make a list, and then use your upline to work through the list with you. So you can ask for their valued opinion as a friend. It's very important to understand them and to know what makes them tick and pushes their hot buttons. That's really important. Always listen twice as hard as you talk, so do more asking questions and listening to the answers than you do telling them, because people don't want you to sell it to them. They want the option to buy. Okay, and it's the same with a product. It is the same with the opportunity. We're here to look for a solution to their problems, so try to understand their problems. Okay, and it's really important to work their list systematically and add to it every single day. Even if you just had one person every single day, that's really important. Okay, sponsoring through people. I touched on this before. Each person you sponsor has 100 contacts at least, and 100 contacts won't really phase anybody. Most people have got 100 contacts. And if they haven't got 100 contacts, well, do you know what? Do you really want them in your business? Are they going to be a great asset to your business? I'm not sure, to be honest. Show each person how to work their warm market, just as you learned yourself. Work their warm markets with them. So in other words, as I said, you're sponsoring through people. So you're looking for... if you sponsor John into your team, you're looking for him to produce 100 names over the next few weeks of first few weeks of joining, and then you work through each one of them. And once you've got a sign up out of them, or 2 or 3 sign-ups, then you can do exactly the same with that person and plug those people into your system. And then whatever you do with your with John's leads, get John to follow you. Get John to follow exactly what you did and watch exactly what you did closely. And then, and only then, can you then start to duplicate. Okay? Sponsoring just one person could be huge for your business. And as you know, it can double the size of your business every single time this happens. Give you an example of that. Power numbers. So obviously this is going back to the first slide now, one of the first slides where I said if it's just you using 150 pounds of product every period, what will you have in a year? So obviously if you did 150 pound of internet or catalog orders every period, you'd have about 50 pounds worth of profit in your pocket. So over a course of 12 months, well, 13 periods, you'd have 50 times by 13, whatever that is. I can't even do the maths. But if you did £250 a period of personal, then you're not going to make any money, but you are going to save £50 on the products you're using. And if you sponsored one person, only one person in the year, which, let's face it, if you work in your business right, probably not going to happen. Probably going to be more people, and you're also probably not going to be doing £250 a period. You're probably going to be doing more than that. spot. Let's say you're doing £250 a period and you're sponsoring one person a year. In year one, you're going to have £3,250 turnover at the end of year one. Not going to make much profit at all, but you're still going to show profit. In year two, you've now got two people, you and another person, and you're each doing exactly the same. £500 now between the two of you, and there's your turnover of £6,500 there. So you make a profit. You're not going to make a bonus, but you are going to make a profit. Year three, each person is going to sponsor somebody. So you've got four people, and your turnover for a period is £1,000. So you're going to start making a bonus now. In a year, you've got a £13,000 turnover. In year four, you've been in the business 4 years now. Okay, you've got 8 people. You've got a team turnover of £2,000 in a 4-week period. Okay, you've got a couple of team members. You've got one team member making a bonus of £1,000. So you make your the bonus of £2,000 minus his bonus. You're not earning very much there, and you've got a £26,000 a year turnover. Are you going to carry on to year 5? You've done 4 years of making naff all. You know, are you really going to carry on to year 5? But you know what? That's when people give up. Year 5, it starts to get okay. You know, you've got 16 people in your team now. Every one of your team members is sponsoring one. 16 people, turnover of 4,000 every period, 52 grand a year. But by year 6, now you broke the 100 grand a year mark. 8 grand a period. You're nearly a gold distributor. You know what I mean? You only had to do a bit more of a push, and you're a gold distributor yourself. 6 years it's taking you to get to gold from a standing start, only doing 250 a period and sponsoring one a year. 6 years. Would you have hung around? You know what? You're not even gold. 7 years it's taking you to smash through that gold mark. You've now got 64 people in your team. You're a gold distributor. You've got £208,000 a year turnover, 16,000 every period. But by year 9, you've got 256 people. And it's 64 grand. Look at the yearly turnover. And then year 10, you've got £1.6 million a year turnover. Now, for those of you who know Craig White, that's the size of his business. His business is a little bit bigger, but that's definitely the size of Mike and Jean Day. £128,000 every 4 weeks, 1.6 million turnover a year, and a monthly income of between £8,000 to £10,000. Now, would you stick around for 10 years and only doing £250 a period? Because I know I would. Even if you're just using the products yourself, you're still moving £128,000 worth of product every 4 weeks. Does that appeal to anyone? I'll assume you're all saying yeah. Excellent. Excellent. Right. Okay. I just thought I'd leave that with you. It's just going to be a short webinar tonight, but I thought I hope you get something out of it, because it's pretty powerful stuff, those numbers. I've seen them before, but once I put them together and you start doing it yourself, you just think, wow, that's pretty cool, that. But the most